Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to race number 20 of the NR 2003 Diva Cup Series of Season 1. After today, we only have 8 more races left to go until we crown a champion. Mary Morris, last week's winner, on the pole position. Mary Morris, with her win, jumped up 6 spots to 19th in the point standings. Alongside of her is Maddie Crenshaw in the number 21 car. Maddie Crenshaw comes into this race not having a good season, 34th in the point standings. Crystal Fontaine, run number 2, comes into this race 33rd in the points, still looking for her first win of the year. And Jill Thomas in the number 20 machine. Jill Thomas comes into this race 11th in the point standings, as we'll show you the rest of the starting grid down there below. Annie Crenshaw starting near the rear of the field. That's 4th in the standings, by the way. The points are as follows. Becky Walters still the points leader, but her gap's down to 57 points to Prudence Martindale. Courtney Lynn is third in the standings, 183 points back after last week's race at Papyrus. Annie Crenshaw, as I mentioned, fourth in the standings, 345 points back. 360 back is Amber Whitecastle, who is currently in fifth. Ginger Foutley dropped 2 spots down to 6th in the standings. Matilda Cobb jumped up 3 spots to 7th in the standings. Gwen Tennyson fell 3 spots down to 8th. Maria Steiner lost a spot. She's now 9th in the standings. And Brenda Eveling completes the top 10, 444 points out of the points lead. Both Diva Trucks and Busch had a caution-free event. I'm not so sure if we're going to have a caution-free event for the Diva Cup Series drivers, but we're going to have to wait and see. "17 laps on tap here today. As I said, this is the Samsung Radio Shack 500. And both races, we saw drivers that were struggling in the points table get some good runs. Could that be a factor here today? We're going to find out here at Texas, as here comes Mary Morris into the restart zone. Green flag is in the air. We're underway here at Texas. This series next week, we'll head to Watkins Glen for our final road course race of the season. They'll be joined by the Diva Busch Series, and then the following week, we head to Loudon, New Hampshire. Mary Morris led the first lap as she's starting to pull away. Here comes Matilda Cobb and June Bailey, second and third right here. June Bailey, not the season she would have liked. Comes in this race 39th in the points table, still looking for her first top 5 of the year. Was announced June Bailey will not be back in that number 1 car next season. So June Bailey will look to finish up what has been a very difficult season for the 1 Pennzoil car. Matilda Cobb starting to drop back, about to lose a spot to Jill Thomas here. Bailey's now up to second. Let's find out where our points leader is running. She is in 7th. That's Becky Walters. Prudence Martindale dropping back to 25th. She, by the way, came into this race second in point. Well, make that 26. Or actually now make that 28. She came in this race, by the way, second in points. Courtney Lynn, third in points, not having a good run. Mary Morris trying to go for her second win in a row in the 10 car. in that Valvoline Pontiac for NBV Racing. We will be running this this car set, the 2003. We're going to throw some 2002 schemes for this series next season. So Petty's will have a third entry, the 44. That will be Samantha Granger, who will have to make the show on time due to the fact that 44 team has no points, which will make things even more interesting. As we're coming to 10 laps to go. How about Anastasia Adamson having a very good run in her limited starts? And the caution is out for the first time today, and that is definitely not what Mary Morris wanted to see. Oh, Maria Steiner's involved. First caution we've had all weekend. Mia Watts, Ellen Benson involved. We got away with it in Trucks and Bush. Not the case today, as the caution is out for the first time today here at Texas Motor Speedway. Let's jump back and look at a replay to find out what happened here as we're past the midway point of the Samsung Radio Shack 500. Well, this is what happened to brought out the yellow. Looks like the 30 of Maria Steiner got way up out of the groove. And she's going to slap the wall there, and then she's going to come down and get Alicia Marquez. Look at the job Prudence Martindale second in points did to him missing that. There's a 0-1 car of Chloe Carmichael got through that. Courtney Lynn gets through. Mia Watts does not. And then there's the contact that Ellen Benson gives to the rear end of the Georgia Pacific Dodge. A lot of damage to the Rubbermaid Sharpie Ford of Ellen Benson. Steiner came into race 9th in points, so she'll drop outside the top 10 as far as that is concerned. Watts was 27th in points. This has not been a good season for her. And Ellen Benson, who at the beginning of the year came into this race, was in the top 10 of the points. She fell all the way down to 22nd in points after a tough race last week. So not going to be a good run there. And unfortunately, we had all the drivers finish the races these last 2 days. That's not going to be the case here today, as we're going to head back to the restart here at Texas. Well, I was wondering when we were going to get our first caution of the race, and I kind of figured this series was going to be the one to have the caution-free race streak to come to an end, but the green flag ready to come out on lap number 12 of 17. That will give us a total of 6 laps of racing to go. Mary Morris, the leader. June Bailey, second. Anastasia Adamson, third. Good run for her. Maddie Crenshaw in fourth. Amber Whitecastle completes your top 5. Becky Walters, the points leader, running in 6th. So as of now, she would keep the points lead heading into next week at Watkins Glen. Josephine Bouvier, 7th. Jill Thomas, 8th. Monica Towns, 9th. And Crystal Fontaine complete the top 10. Quiet run for Monica Towns, former Buffalo Wild Wings Series champion. And as I said in the replay, we got away with it in Trucks and Bush as far as all the drivers finished the race. That will not be the case today, as Ellen Benson, Maria Steiner, and Mia Watts have all gone behind the wall and out of the race. All 3 of them have gone to the infield care center, so they will be checked and released from the care center. So I can tell you, Maria Steiner, she's going to be taking a massive hit in the points. As I say, came as race top 10 in the points. Everybody else has been Mia Watts and Ellen Benson were the 2 drivers that were struggling in the points table. So tough break for them. Green flag back in the air on lap number 12. The good thing for Mary Morris, as far as herself is concerned, of course, she is going to be back in this ride next season, the 10 car. She's locked into next season's All-Star race due to winning last week at Papyrus. There's Maddie Crenshaw on the 21 car. I heard scraping. Caution! Big wreck in turn number 3! Courtney Lynn is in it! Brooklyn Carter, Gwen Tennyson, which I haven't even mentioned about Gwen Tennyson. Ginger Foutley, Hannah Blue Jay. Caution is out. That might have just ended the race. Scarlett Wallace is involved. Alicia Marquez. Jessie R. Oh, Jessie didn't need this in her home race. Chloe Carmichael, Tatiana Guerra. Lot of cars involved. The big one, as our second and final caution of the race is out, Mary Morris more than likely has won this race over Maddie Crenshaw. But you know what? For Maddie Crenshaw, despite being 34th in the point standing, she'll be definitely happy about that. But let's jump back, look at the replay, and see what in the world happened to bring out our second yellow of the race. Well, Ginger Foutley was running in the top 10 of the points coming into this race, and this was nearly a 4 wide. Looks like Lindsay Sutton got the wall. Gwen Tennyson got into the left rear, collected her teammate Scarlett Wallace, almost like what happened with Gwen Tennyson and Brenda Eveling last week. Martindale got a piece of it. That was second in points. Jesse Art ran in the back of Brooklyn Carter through no fault. Jesse just couldn't get through the wreck, and Ginger Foutley upside down. Courtney Lynn has some front-end damage on the Kodak Pontiac. That was third in points coming in this race. Boy, this is going to be a big blow for Courtney Lynn. There's Hannah Blue Jay, and I talked about Hendrick Motorsports, who gave Gwen Tennyson a warning for what she did to the 24 Brenda Eveling last week. Well, I don't know how I'm going to say this for Bill Davis Racing after today. So 2 weeks in a row, teammates get caught up. But unlike Papyrus, it was a different story. As the yellow is out, we're going to definitely end this race under yellow. It's going to take you to the checker flag here at Texas. White flag was already displayed to the Valvoline Pontiac of MVV Racing of Mary Morris. And looks like for the second week in a row, Mary Morris will be going to victory lane here at Texas. She won last week at Kansas, this week at Texas. And Mary Morris, who has had an okay season, and like I said, for the second week in a row, she will go to victory lane. So talk about the last 2 weeks for Mary Morris as she comes off turn 4 to win the Samsung Radio Shack 500 at Texas. I can tell you 2 weeks in a row, she has gone to victory lane. I bet you if she would have done this at the beginning of the season, she could have been in possible title contention, but it may be too little too late for Mary Morris, but she becomes a repeat winner. And like I said, she came this race running 19th in the points table, so the last couple of weeks have been kind to her as the standings are now official. As I said, Maddie Crenshaw gets second. That's still good for Maddie Crenshaw after the struggles she's had. Good run for Anastasia Adamson in third, as she will be dropping to the Diva Bush Series next season by her own admission. Fourth was Becky Walters. She'll definitely keep the points lead. Monica Towns finished in the top 5. Monica came into this race. Monica Towns 15th in the points table, so good run for her. Couple of drivers from Zachary Taylor's team finishing in the top 5. Crenshaw and Towns. Maddie Crenshaw, to be more specific. Jill Thomas came in race 11th in points, got 6. Crystal Fontaine 7th. Matilda Cobb comes away with 8. She will stay in the top 10 of the points after today. Josephine Bouvier 9th, and June Bailey gets the top 10. And 2 girls that were struggling in the points table. Bailey came in this race 39th in the points table, and Bouvier 37th. That's 2 girls who definitely need some good runs in the process. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results from our 2 cautions, Courtney Lynn, 36, came in this race 3rd in the points table. Prudence Martindale, 24, she came in this race 2nd in points, so not the runs those 2 ladies were hoping for, and that's not good because now Becky Walters has extended her points lead as a result. 37 cars finished the race on the lead lap. Ginger Foutley was the last car. Brooklyn Carter finished one lap down, so that kind of just sums up Brooklyn Carter's season in a nutshell, if you ask me. Not trying to make a pun for Zachary Taylor here. And four drivers did not see the checkered flag: Alicia Marquez, Ellen Benson, Maria Steiner, and Mia Watts out of the race. But that is going to do it from Texas Motor Speedway. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Race Crew today. We showed your full finish results. Your point standings will be down in the description heading into next week at the Glen. As you've been watching another broadcast of PCS Race TV, the best in the racing since 2017.